The wail of the air raid siren was a familiar, chilling symphony in wartime Liverpool. By May 1941, the city, a vital lifeline for Britain's war effort with its sprawling docks, had already endured months of relentless bombing. But the first week of May brought a new, terrifying intensity. 7 consecutive nights of the Luftwaffe's fury, a period that would forever be etched in the memory of Liverpudlians as the May Blitz. Among the ordinary folks caught in this maelstrom was a woman I'll call Elsie, a spirited dock worker's wife living in the terraced streets near Bootle. She had seen her share of hardship, but nothing quite prepared her for the inferno that consumed her city. On the night of May 3rd, the bombs fell like a hailstorm. Elsie, her husband George, and their 2 young children, Tommy and little Mary, huddled in their small, damp cellar. The earth trembled with each distant thud, then closer, sharper concussions that rattled their teeth. They could hear the sickening whine of falling bombs, followed by explosions that seemed to rip the very fabric of the night. Suddenly, a deafening roar. The house shuddered violently, a sickening groan of collapsing timber and masonry. Dust thick and acrid choked their lungs. George instinctively shielded Mary, while Elsie pulled Tommy close. When the tremors subsided, they found themselves in utter darkness, buried beneath the rubble. Panic clawed at Elsie's throat, but she forced it down. "George, kids, are you all right?" she croaked, her voice hoarse with dust. "We're here, Mom," Tommy whimpered, a small hand clutching her arm. Mary coughed, but her cries were quickly muffled by George's embrace. They were trapped. The cellar door was jammed, blocked by debris. Hours passed in suffocating darkness. The air grew heavy, hot, and stale. The distant sounds of explosions continued, interspersed with the terrifying crackle of nearby fires. Elsie imagined their street, their home, reduced to twisted wreckage and ash. Above them, they could hear muffled shouts, the crunch of boots on rubble, and the frantic ring of fire engines. Hope flickered, then dimmed. Were they even alive? Would anyone find them? Just as despair threatened to consume them, a faint scratching sound echoed from above. Then a voice, muffled but clear, called out, "Anyone down there?" "Liverpool Fire Brigade!" Elsie screamed back, a raw, desperate cry. "Yes! We're here, 4 of us!" The next few hours were a blur of intense effort. They heard the scrape of shovels, the heave of heavy objects being moved. Finally, a small shaft of light pierced the darkness as a section of the collapsed wall was cleared. A dusty, soot-streaked face peered down. "Gotcha, mate!" a fireman shouted, relief evident in his voice. One by one, they were carefully pulled from the debris. Elsie blinked, her eyes adjusting to the harsh glare of a street on fire. Their house was a mangled ruin, but their street and the entire skyline was a terrifying tableau of blazing buildings. St. Luke's Church, a familiar landmark, was a skeletal silhouette against the orange glow. Elsie, George, Tommy, and Mary were shaken, covered in dust and soot, but miraculously unharmed. They were whisked away to a makeshift rest center, joining thousands of other homeless Liverpudlians. That night, and for many nights after, the sheer scale of the devastation was almost incomprehensible. But amidst the rubble and the ruin, Elsie saw something else: the unwavering spirit of her city. Neighbors helping neighbors, rescuers working tirelessly, and a quiet determination in every weary face to rebuild, to endure. The May Blitz had tried to break Liverpool, but it only forged its resolve stronger.